The key is working out where you want to put your time, your money, your energy, your focus, so that you can start being more strategic about the things that are going to actually propel you forwards in your career towards that vision that you have visualized. Welcome to the Independent School Podcast. Thinking and acting strategically is the key to both securing the future of your school and helping to build a more equal and just world. My name's Juliette Corbett. I'm a consultant, speaker and facilitator specialising in helping independent schools. In this podcast, I translate tried and tested strategy and fundraising techniques into a language that works for schools. So if you're a senior leader in a private school and you want your daily work to feel less exhausting and more strategic, and if you want once more to feel the joy of making the world a better place through education, then you're in the right place. Welcome, and let's get started on this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode where we are focusing on how to be strategic in your career. Now, I work with really passionate, dedicated professionals. All the independent school leaders that I work with, they know that they can have a positive impact on the world. They're committed to their job. But so often I find that they're also just exhausted from trying to juggle too many things on the go, too many balls that they're trying to juggle at work. And one of the things that sometimes comes up in little side conversations that we have is that this whole process of being exhausted just trying to keep up with the day-to-day at work not only means that they fear that they're not going to be delivering strategically at the top level of their game for their school, but also alongside that, there's this sort of hidden fear that actually their career goals are a little bit hazy, a little bit unreachable. They haven't necessarily put the energy into thinking through and then executing a more strategic approach to their own career because they're so busy juggling all those different projects for their current employer. And they're constantly kind of asking themselves, what should I be prioritising to put my own career on the track I want it to be? Should I be moving on potentially? How can I move on up to a more senior role, either in my current school or in another one? So this week, we are going to be diving into the topic of being more strategic, not just for your school, but actually for yourself, being strategic in your career. And at the heart of this, it's about delivering more in your job without working harder and making sure it's also aligned to your overall career goals. Really quickly, before we dive into the detail, I want to make sure that you make the most of the time you invest listening to this podcast. And the best way to do that is to make sure you grab a copy of my free ebook, The Strategic Independent School Leader. It outlines how to answer the 6 essential questions that will clarify your school strategy and secure its future. In the world of business, strategy can be full of jargon, but it doesn't have to be that way. This is a jargon-free tool tailor-made to help private school leaders think and act more strategically. Download your free copy today at www.consultjuliette.co.uk/ebook. So if we're going to be talking about being more strategic in your career, you are not going to be surprised to hear that I normally use the same general process that I use for developing strategy for schools, which is based on the 4 building blocks of strategy framework that I've mentioned before and I'll put a link to in the episode notes. I've created a roadmap for people's careers, which is an adapted version of that 4 building blocks of strategy. And it's all about being focused, about being strategic, but also about thinking about yourself, your own career vision. And actually what I've been doing for the last couple of years is working alongside Lucy Gower of Lucidity to co-run with her the Lucidity Accelerator program, where I specifically work with people on achieving their career goals and getting a little bit unstuck. A lot of them come to us feeling that they want to achieve more, they want to have a more senior role and be in a more senior leadership position, but they're feeling that something is holding them back. And this approach to strategic career building is what I work through with them. So today, I'm actually going to be giving you a sneak peek at the roadmap that I use within that program to help you to be more strategic about your career. So step number 1, you need to clarify your career vision. The first point on this roadmap is understanding where you want to be in your career. And it's about understanding your values, your big dreams, the things that make you happy. But basically, it's about visualizing your future. And it's not just about work. It's about putting that alongside your vision for the other things that you're committed to in your life. So whether that's family, whether that's other projects and passions and hobbies that you have, really fleshing out that career vision alongside a visualization of what your future is going to be, what you want that to look like. So the first thing that I help people to do is to clarify that career vision, and you can do that yourself by thinking through your values, your dreams, where you want to be in life, and either drawing a picture or writing it with words or talking to yourself on an audio recording. Try to paint out that picture to visualize what that vision looks like for you. Step number 2 is then identifying your accelerators. Now, these are the things that are already going really well, that are going to propel you towards that vision regardless. And your sticking points, these are the things that are holding you back, the challenges that you face. Now, when we do this with schools, we look at internal strengths and weaknesses and external opportunities and threats. You can take the same approach to your career. So you can think about your internal strengths. What are the things that you're really good at? What are the things that excite you? What are your support networks like? Are there any really positive trends in the external environment that might be acting in your favour to make your skill set really in demand? And on the sticking points front, what is it that's holding you back? Where do you feel that either due to your skills or experience or something to do with your mindset and your approach to work, you're just feeling a little bit stuck? Trying to identify what those feelings are, what are the actual skills that you need or the experience that you need, the mindset that you need in order to unlock or kind of rise above those sticking points and achieve your vision. So that's step number 2, is just identifying those accelerators and sticking points. Step number 3 is your general approach. Now, this you'll recognise from the 4 building blocks of strategy. This is about working out the general way that you're going to overcome those sticking points, make the most of those accelerators in order to achieve your vision. This is the general kind of one sentence that you're going to live by for the next year, let's say, which is going to help you make progress. Now, this step 3 is all about focus. You can't do everything. We know that from our other conversations about strategy. So what are you going to focus on, let's say, in this coming year? Once you know that, you focus in on those things that are going to actually make a difference to your career, then it's time for step 4, and that's the action plan. Now, this is what people tend to jump straight to. They think, I need to be out there networking more. I need to be speaking at conferences. I need to be delivering big projects. I need to be doing everything in my power all right now. This month, this week, I've got to do everything. And that's what causes the overwhelm. When you create an action plan which is based on that focused general approach, you know, okay, this quarter or this year, I am focusing on, let's say, my network. Therefore, I'm going to have a couple of key things in my action plan which specifically expand my network. Or maybe it's not network, maybe it's skills development. So my general approach for this quarter or this year is I'm going to focus on developing some additional technical skills, for example. Your action plan is just focused on that one area that you want to be working on during this quarter or this year. So it's all about having this roadmap thought through. You can do this yourself, you can get my help to do it, but it's being strategic about your career, just in the same way as we aspire to be strategic within our schools. And the key is working out where you want to put your time, your money, your energy, your focus, so that you can start being more strategic about the things that are going to actually propel you forwards in your career towards that vision that you have visualized. So the Lucidity Accelerator program is a 6-month group program. So it's aimed at helping senior and middle managers who are ready to take that next step, that next leap in their professional career, but they're feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit hesitant, something is holding them back. And what the program does is it guides you through those 4 steps of the roadmap, but critically importantly, it guides you through that process alongside a really carefully curated group of people like yourself, like-minded people who can help you and create some accountability, so that I'm helping you, but your group is helping you as well. If you'd like the idea of working through this within a group program and having that additional input from myself and from the rest of your group, then do reach out to me either on the contact details which are within the episode notes, or there's also a link there to the Lucidity Accelerator program. We run 2 programs a year, and if you're listening to this live as it kind of comes out in autumn 2021, then we are gearing up to curate our group for the 2022 start, the January 2022 start. So do get on that waiting list, reach out, no commitment, really happy to just have a chat with you if this is something that sounds of interest. That's it for this week. I hope that you can use those 4 steps to help create a more strategic approach to your own career. And I look forward to talking to you again next week. Bye bye. Thanks for listening to the Independent School Podcast, the podcast that helps senior leaders in private schools to think and act more strategically, both because they want to secure the future of their school and because they want to help build a more equal and just world. You can listen in everywhere that podcasts are available. And if you want to catch up on previous episodes or follow any of the links that I've mentioned today, just head over to www.consultjuliet.co.uk/podcast.